All right, we're back. And yes, we had to step out and change real quick. What y'all think about these outfits? You know we couldn't come to the Kinfolk Kickback without putting on a little cowboy flavor. Now, this next part of the program is something real close to the heart. This is what we're calling Mama's Legacy Tribute. At our past reunions, we usually go family by family and catch up, show pictures, see what everybody's been doing, all that good stuff. But this year, we wanted to take it a step deeper. We wanted to honor the one who started all this for us, our mama. So we asked all of Mama's children and anyone else who wanted to send in a short video. It could be a story, a memory, a moment, or just something from the heart they wanted to share about her. Now, these weren't rehearsed, weren't scripted, just real words from real people who loved her. And we're going to share those with y'all now in the order from the oldest to the youngest. So first up, Mama, is there anything you want to say before we get started?
Yes, baby. I'd love to hear what they have to say, and I might even chime in from time to time. Go on and start it up. All right now.
All right then. First up, Charlene. Let's take a look.
I am the oldest child of Velma, and I want to give thanks to God and Mama for me being the strong, independent black woman that I am. And most of all, Mama would be very proud of all of us because she was a great mother. Thank you.
Charlene, you're my firstborn. And baby, you were the one who made me a mama. Hearing you say you're strong, independent, and rooted in God, that means everything to me. Because I know the road wasn't always easy, but you've stood tall. And yes, you're right, I am proud of you. Now I got to say this. Do you remember back in the day when I used to tell y'all, do as I say, not as I do? That's because I was the boss. And I know you probably turned around and said the same thing to Darren and Paul. Just like I said to you, that's how it goes. Now let me ask you this. Do you remember that time I picked up you, Paul, and Darren from Big Paul's house? Whew, I don't remember driving again in Kansas City after that. That just might have been my last time. But through it all, you've always carried yourself with strength, with purpose, and with a deep love for this family. That makes my heart full. I love you, baby. You were my beginning, and I'm proud of who you are. Harry, when Ace asked everybody to send in a video for this tribute, I already knew you wasn't going to send one in. And sure enough, you said it just like I expected. I ain't doing no video. I'll do mine in person. And baby, I wasn't surprised one bit. You've always been that way. Once your mind's made up, you don't budge. Hard-headed, yes. Strong-willed, absolutely. Ever since you were little, you've been telling folks what you were going to do, not what they asked you to do. That's just always been you. And your memory. You'll bring up something from 40 years ago, and half the time the person it happened to don't even remember it. But you do. At least, you think you do. That's why we call you Mr. Know-It-All. You think you know more about folks than they know about themselves. Somebody could be sure about their own story. But if it don't match yours, they're just wrong, right? But your way of doing things, that determination, and that spirit, that's part of what made you who you are. And I've always been proud of the man you became. I sure wish Diane didn't have that conflict in her schedule. We would have loved to have her here, but I know she's sending her love. And I'm sending mine right back to both of y'all. I love you, Harry. Always have. Always will.
Mother, if there's one thing that you have taught me
is to be bold in my proclamation.
throughout the years,
Your words have stood the test of time. The son, Darren C. Smith.
Dear Mama Velma, though I never had the blessing of meeting you face to face, your presence lives powerfully in our lives, especially through your son, my beloved husband, Darren C. Through his wisdom, strength, and grace, I've come to know the kind of woman you were. The stories, the principles, the unwavering love, each one confirms what everyone has always said. You were everything. It is both an honor to be part of this family and a privilege to be woven into your enduring legacy. Thank you for the foundation you laid, one I now stand on with deep gratitude. With love and reverence, Claudia.
Dern, that was a production. I said to myself, is that Dern or Tyler Perry? You came in sounding like a whole preacher, strong, clear, bold. Just like I remember, you always had a voice that filled a room. And I'm glad to see that the things I said, you carried them with you your whole life. That kind of boldness don't come from nowhere. It's passed down. And Dern, I love you. You've always had a place in my heart. Faye, I know we didn't get the chance to meet face to face, but I felt your heart in every word. You said you came to know me through my beloved son, your husband, through his wisdom, his strength, and his grace. Well, that's the kind of man I prayed he'd grow up to be. And the way you spoke with reverence, with love, with a spirit that said you belong to this family. You said it was an honor to be part of it. And baby, it's an honor to have you in it. Thank you for the words. Thank you for the love. And thank you both for reminding me why this family stands so strong. I love you both.
Hey, this is Ree. You know, they have asked us to think of something good that you learned from our mom when I was growing up. And I thought about it. It seemed like either my mama didn't like me or I was always doing something that irritated her. And the most I can remember is I think I was maybe about 8 or 9. No, could have been 10. And we lived on 24th and Monroe. And we had moved from over there, and it was this lady that we really liked, and her name was Miss Cooper. Not Miss Cooper, I'm Miss Cook. Miss Cooper was the next door neighbor, you know. But anyway, so I had called Miss Cook because I wanted to talk to her. And I called her, and Mama had told me not to call her. She said, Ree, don't be calling nobody. Well, I got the phone and I called anyway. And I'm just talking to Miss Cook, and so she asked me, she said, well, where's your mama? I said, well, she's back here in the back. She said, well, let me talk to your mama. So I took the phone back there. I said, Mama, Miss Cook wants to talk to you. And she said, well, I didn't hear the phone ring. I said, no, because I called her. And my mama looked at me, and she went on and talked. She didn't talk long. But after they hung up, Mama comes and she snatched me up and she said, didn't I tell you not to call nobody? I said, well, I wanted to talk to her. So she said, well, I'm going to teach you a lesson. When I tell you don't do something, you don't do it. So she got that extension cord and she was wearing my little old bones out. And I'm just a hollering. And so the way she whooped you, she would straddle you. I was hollering and stuff, and I looked up, and I saw she didn't have no drawers on, and I saw her booty. So I raised up and I bit her. And she said, oh, so you call yourself gonna bite me, huh? You gonna bite me? And I bet you she whooped me another 10 minutes. And by the time she let me go, I tell you, the lesson I learned from that was when your mama tell you don't call somebody, then you don't call anybody. Back in the day, they was really strict on it. Every time, she whooped me, I bet you it was a good 20 minutes. When she let my little old bony behind go, that was it. That's why it's hard now for me to talk to anybody on the phone and then give it to somebody else. Because I learned my lesson. When your mama tell you don't call somebody, you don't do any calling. That is my memory. And my lesson out of that, leave that phone alone. I'm telling you, leave the phone alone. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, because I still love my mama now. Although she beat me all the time. Dang, I was really a hard-headed kid. I learned that you do not talk about people behind their back when you're inside your house. Because I got a good old-fashioned whooping when I was about 14. And I was inside the house talking about, Miss Elizabeth. And she went and told Mama. Mama came, woke me up out of my sleep, and beat the crap out of me. So I learned that you don't talk about people, even if you're in your house. Second, I learned to be a strong woman. Don't depend on anyone to do anything for you. Always have your own. Always believe in yourself. And once you are out there, you stay out there and you do your best to your ability. So Mama was a strong woman. And she have some real good characteristics. I could go on and on, but that was just one of the things that I do remember really good. Y'all have a good day, and Yahoo.
I heard what you said, wondering if I didn't like you or if you were just bad. Let me go on and tell you, you were bad. But I loved you every bit of the way. That phone call to Miss Cook after I told you not to, and then passing me the phone like nothing happened. You knew what was coming. And when you looked up mid-whoopin' and bit me on the butt, child, you were something else. And then talking about Miss Elizabeth in the house at 14. That's when you learned. Some things just don't fly, even at home. But I look at you now, a strong woman, raising a beautiful family, all those granddaughters and that one grandson you love so much. I know they bring you joy, just like you brought me joy, even when you were wearing me out. I love you, Ree. Always have, always will.
Hello, family. This is Rose. I am going to tell y'all about my memory of what Mama left me with. And we didn't always have much, but she was always helping somebody. That's what I learned. Always help somebody. Love y'all. Bye.
Rose, when I was growing up, my mama always told me, you may not have a lot, but you can always help somebody. And I held on to that. That's why I always tried to lend a hand, give what I could, and be there for people. Because that's what I was taught. And I'll tell you this, you picked up that same spirit. You are always taking care of somebody, always showing up for family, always helping where you can. And I see it. You got that from me, and I'm proud of you for that. Now let me ask you this. You remember that time you were sitting under me while I was on the phone, and you jumped in the conversation talking about, Mama, you lying, child. You were way too deep in grown folks' business. And I had to go get that extension cord and remind you real quick, don't interrupt, And don't ever call your mama a liar. But look at you now. All that fire turned into love, loyalty, and care. And I'm so proud of the woman you've become. I love you.
Hi, Mama. This is your baby girl. This is a good tribute to you. The thing about it is, I really don't know a whole lot because I grew up way too fast and you left our family way too soon. So, but what I do remember about you is that you was a strong woman. You was a hard worker. You took care of your kids. We didn't have a whole lot, but the little bit we did have, we cherished it. And we was together as a family. That was really resonated to me throughout the years of me raising my family and my boys, is that you always instill in us, take care of your family, take care of your kids, take care of your family, work hard, put God first, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. So I just want to say that I love you. I've always would love you. And it's just, I don't know. Some days I'm sad because I didn't get an opportunity to speak to you as an adult to tell you how much I truly, truly do love you. But you're always in my spirit. So I always get to talk, have an opportunity to talk to you whenever I want to. But I want you to know that I love you. I will always love you. And I'm gonna live my life like you live your life. Spirit free, no judgment, living life. So that's what I want to say to my mom. I want to say I love you. I will always love you. And I'm just living my best life. Hi, Mama. This is your baby girl. This is a tribute to you. Those mother-daughter talks, I never felt like we ever had those talks. But I do remember growing up, you would always tell us, always be able to be independent and take care of yourself. Do not depend on anyone to take care of you but yourself. And that has resonated with me all through the years. So that's one thing I can say that I really did appreciate that bit of information from you. I do remember growing up, you always was real nice to people. It seemed like relatives would come by the house and everybody would come to Velma's house with Velma's kids. So I knew you had a caring spirit in you, and that's what I really, really, really adored about you, is because you had that caring spirit. But I didn't get an opportunity to say how much I loved you and how much I wanted to be just like you when I grew up. I wanted to be a caring person and feel like that I was God-fearing and yeah, and enjoy life. Enjoy life. And that's what I'm doing now, Mama. I'm enjoying life, and I really love you, and I will always love you. And I'm going to see you on the other side, loving you. Bye.
Gail, my baby girl, you always had a lot to say, and this time, you had me sittin' real still, just listening. I'm so glad you remembered the things I tried to teach you, especially about being independent. I told y'all early on, make sure you can take care of yourself and don't depend on nobody else to do it. And you carried that with you. That means a lot to me. You also said something else that touched my heart. You said it felt like we didn't always have that mother-daughter bond. But baby, I hope you know, you were mine, you are mine, and I loved you deeply. Even when I didn't always know how to show it the way you needed. You saw how folks used to come to our house. Everybody came to our house. I opened that door to whoever needed it because I always believed you take care of people. You be kind. Now I see the way you and Al look at each other. That love is real. I'm so glad he came into your life. I wish I could have met him in person, but I see what he means to you, and that means the world to me. You're living, you're loving, and you're carrying it all with grace. I heard you when you said, I love you, and I'll see you on the other side. Well, I love you too, Gail. Always have, always will. And I'll be right here watching over you until we meet again.
Howdy, fam. Here we are again celebrating Miss Velma Crawford's legacy and sharing memories. One of my fondest memories of our dear mother is me playing with her mama arms. See, I call mama arms, you know, that extra skin that they have, that most mothers have under their arm, it's the upper part of their body. I call those mother arms, mama arms. Back in the day, sometimes I would sit close to mama and then I would jiggle her mama arms. And she would say, stop, boy. And then I would wait just a few more minutes and I jiggle them again. And she'd say, boy, stop. Of course, I would wait a little bit longer. And then I would jiggle it one more time and she'd say, boy, I said stop. She'd raise her hand like she was about ready to hit me. But I'd always get out of the way just in time. You know, I don't know why, but that always amazed me. I always got a kick out of that. I love mama. But you know, mama had some big arms. And those arms were big enough to raise 12 kids and care for each and every one of them. Those mama arms were strong too. I think all of us can attest to a time or another where we felt the power of mama's arms. Those mama arms also provided us with everything we needed. They provided comfort when we needed comfort, security when we needed safety, and most of all, and most importantly, they provided unconditional love. Now, we didn't have much, but we always had everything we needed. We had a roof over our heads, we had clothes on our backs, we had shoes on our feet, and we also had food on the table. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't remember ever going hungry. But if I did, it wasn't mama's fault, because there was food in there. Well, mama, I also want to tell you thank you. I want to tell you thank you for helping me make the best decision of my life. See, when I graduated from high school, a friend of mine and we decided to join the Air Force on a delayed entry program under this thing called the buddy program, which we both were supposed to join together. But later that summer, my friend decided not to join because of religious reasons. So I told the recruiter, if he wasn't going, neither was I, because it was the buddy program. Well, one day I came home and mom was on the phone with one of her friends and she was talking to her and I could overhear her saying something about how proud she was about me going into the military, going into the Air Force. But I started waving my hand trying to get her attention to let her know that I was no longer joining. She said, wait a minute. She was on that phone. She said, wait a minute. Hold up, girl, let me call you back. And she hung up. And let me tell you, she used some very colorful language. She said something about my butt and getting up out of there. So that stern and wise motherly advice convinced me, and it changed my life. That decision led me to meeting and marrying the love of my life, Mary, Mrs. Greta Lynette Sawyer. And God has also blessed us to be parents of two amazing boys, Jordan and Joshua. Mom, I wish you could have met them, but my greatest achievement is accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I wish you was here to see how your legacy has grown. Your babies had babies. Your grandbabies had grandbabies. And even though you're now in eternity, we can still feel the embrace, the love, and the care of those mama arms. And every time I come down these stairs, I can look up and I see you every day, Mama. And as the song says, I always love my mama. You are my favorite girl. And you brought me into this world. And so for that, I love you, Mama. And we love you. And thank you for your legacy.
Jamie, you always had a way of getting under my skin, sitting beside me, wiggling my arm, waiting for me to get after you. But hearing you say now how strong those arms were, that touched me deep. Because those arms held all of y'all, through hard times, through joy, and gave out love without limits. You remembering how we never went without. That makes me proud. We didn't have much, but you always had what you needed. And if you went hungry, it sure wasn't because there wasn't food. And I remember that day clear as ever. You walking in, trying to wave me down while I was bragging on the phone about my son going to the Air Force. But when I told you to go on anyway, look at what was waiting for you. Your whole future changed. And then came Gret, and the life y'all built together. 2 strong boys, Jordan and Joshua, and a foundation rooted in faith. When you said giving your life to Christ was your greatest achievement, I could have shouted right then and there. Even though I'm not there in the flesh, I'm still with you. Every time you walk past my picture, I'm there. Always have been, always will be. I love you.
Okay, fam, this is my tribute to Mama. And wait, I need to change locations because it's hot out here in this cowboy outfit. But let's go in here for a second. Ooh, okay, this is better. It was hot out there. Start. This is what? Now, for most people, it's just a rock. But for my brothers, they know this was one of our Christmas presents back in the day. Well, I mean, we never went without. Never went without. But we was poor. We was poor. We never went hungry or anything like that. But the rock came with instructions. And came with instructions and wash it and stuff like that. But I cherish that rock back then. But we never went with anything. Mama made sure that we knew how to cook and clean. I remember getting woken up plenty of times at night for not cleaning the kitchen up and getting whooped. Get down there and get the dishes clean. So everybody knew how to do it. We didn't do it all the time, right? But one of the things I always wanted Mama, for me, was to be proud of me. We was in California. We used to go to all-you-can-eat restaurant, similar to a Golden Corral or Ryan's or something like that. And we got there, all you can eat, ice cream, cookies, and I was just eating, just gobbling stuff down. And every time I got another plate, Mama used to say, "Ooh, I like bring you here because I get my money's worth." So I go get another plate, go get another plate. To the point, man, where I can't even walk that much anymore. Man, I thought I was an overdose off food or something. So that messed me up a little bit. But just want to make her proud of me. That's what I want to do. Remember making some cornbread one night with the Jiffy mint. Well, not Jiffy. Didn't do Jiffy. I had the cornmeal, the flour, the baking soda or baking powder, baking soda, the little one, and some salt. And I made my cornbread, put some butter over it, cut it in 4 pieces, put it on the plate, got my syrup, poured the syrup over it, and was eating it, just eating it. Mama came in and she was like, "Boy, why are you eating like you've been smoking dope?" And that made me cry, man. I got up, man, went in there, started crying like a little baby. But it hurt me that she wasn't proud of me. So I just hope, man, when she's looking down on me now, man, she's proud of me. That's my spiel. That's one of the things that Mama, I carry with me all the time, man. No matter what I do, I want her to be proud. Not that I do everything right all the time, but I strive to do things the way what make Mama proud with. And that's my spiel. Oh, wait a minute. Jay. Oh, I don't know why I thought Jackie was gonna be back there, man, but she's not back there. What? That's all I got. Thanks a lot. Peace. Go back to my normal self.
Ace, that pet rock? Yes, I remember. Came in a little box, and you was grinning like you had a puppy. That Christmas was thin, but you made it joyful. Now that restaurant story. Whew, you was eatin' like somebody was gonna take it off your plate. I praised you, and you kept right on going. Your brothers didn't care, but you? The more I talked, the more you chewed. And that day in the kitchen, you made that cornbread from scratch, cut it in 4, drowned it in syrup, and sat there like you had made a feast. I looked at you and said, boy, you eatin' like you been smoking dope. And baby, when I said that, you looked so crushed, I thought I broke your heart. You started crying like I'd snatched your soul. That's when I knew you just wanted me to be proud of you. And Ace, I am. You always had that light in you. You kept everybody laughing, but your heart was what made you special. And now, here you come, putting on that big old noggin hat at the end of the video, acting like Jackie was standing behind you, like Gret was behind Jay. Boy, are you sure you ain't on something? Because I can't with you, but I wouldn't change a thing. Love you, Ace.
I want to share a moment with y'all about Mama. In school, and your teacher off at school called your mother to come to the school. Mama did not play that. So this one time I thought I was done for. It was back when Christopher Columbus. Teacher hands me this book about Christopher Columbus. First thing you see was him shaking an Indian's hand. So I asked the teacher a question about how did Christopher Columbus discover America? And she, didn't go back and forth with her, but I, expressed to her, well, he's shaking the Indian's hand. Long or the short, I got sent to the office for disrupting the class. So they called Mama. So as Mama was entering the school, I seen her and I bust out into tears. I thought I was through. Made it to the office, and the principal told Mama that I was removed from class because I was disturbing the class. Mama looked at me and asked me, did you do that? Through my tears, I said, Mama, I just asked him how did Christopher Columbus discover America when he's shaking that Indian's hand. I did not try to disrupt the class, I just asked a question. Mama turned around, looked at the principal, and said, okay. I'm taking him with me. Made it to the car, I just thought I was through. Only thing Mama asked me, was I hungry? I want to go get something to eat. I told her, yeah. Got something to eat, we made it home. I really didn't eat. Mama said, go to your room.
Frankie, you always had a big heart. You felt everything deep. And I remember that day at school. You asking that question about Christopher Columbus. Just trying to understand what didn't sit right. They said you were disturbing the class, but I knew better. You were just speaking from that same thoughtful place you always had. And when I came to get you, you were already tearing up. But when you told me what happened, I just asked if you were hungry, because sometimes a mama don't need to fuss. She just needs to understand her child. And I understood you that day. And baby, I know you've always felt things more than most. That tender heart of yours is part of what makes you special. I won't say too much, but I still remember that time you got all choked up watching Charlie Brown. And Snoopy had you all in your feelings. You probably don't want me bringing that up, but I do remember, and I love that about you. You feel deeply, you care deeply, and that's a gift. I love you, Frankie. Always have, always will.
Hello, family. I just want to send this video in on my memory of Mama. Let me say this: much love to everybody. Much love to everybody. But let me start off by saying that I remember when we was little kids, Mama used to always, we used to always mess with Mama or watch Mama sleep, because Mama always slept with her legs crossed, her arms crossed, and always shaking her legs. And I never forget, I was joking with Mama one day, and I said, Mama, look. And she had looked. And I said, bump your head on a piece of cornbread. And she started laughing. Mama looked at me, and the first thing Mama said was, I'm going to bump your ass on a piece of cornbread. And I just thought that was hilarious. But the one thing that I mainly remember the most, Miss Harris, my mother, Miss Harris had an apartment next door to the house. It was an old furniture store, but it was an apartment up above the furniture store. And that was Miss Harris' first apartment. And I remember when it was cold, she'd get off of work, she'd pick us up from Mama's house, we'll walk down probably about 5 or 10 yards, go into the apartment, go straight up some stairs. And I'll never forget when I said I didn't want to go, and Mama said, don't worry about it, I'm going to always be here for you. Just look out the window. I'm going to always be here. And every now and then I used to look out that window and I can to see Mama's window. And that just carried me pretty much for the rest of my life on how I remember how Mama said that I'm going to be there for you and I got you. And I just always share that with people, you know, on what I remember of Mama. But I always remember Mama was just that strong person and quick to get that extension cord to whoop you with. But she was just always that strong person. That's my video. Love everybody.
Paul, you always had a way of keeping folks smiling. That bump your head on a piece of cornbread. You caught me off guard with that one. Had me laughing when I was trying to rest. But what's always stuck with me was that day you didn't want to leave the house. Charlene had that new apartment above the furniture store, but you didn't want to go. You were crying so hard. And I looked right at you and said, don't worry, baby. Just look out the window. I'm always going to be right here. And Paul, I meant that. With everything in me. That promise wasn't just for that day. It was for every day after. Because no matter how grown you got, or how far life took you, you could always count on me. And I know in your heart, you still do. And yes, I was quick with that extension cord. But I was even quicker with love. You've grown into a strong, thoughtful man. And I couldn't be prouder of you. I love you, Paul. Whew, that tribute was beautiful. It touched me in ways I can't even explain. I felt the love, the laughter, the memories, every bit of it. But I ain't surprised, because this family has always known how to show up with love. Now let me tell you what truly made this day complete. My baby sister, Verby, is here. And that right there, that hit me deep. After all we've been through, after all these years, to have her sitting in the room, still standing, still smiling, still showing up, that's a blessing I don't take lightly. She was the one who watched me become Mama. She knew me before the kids, before the gray hairs, before the stories y'all tell now. And to see her here today, with this family all around her, that reminded me, this ain't just a reunion, this is legacy. And Verby, you are a part of the reason why, and this whole reunion, it's a blessing. I see generations together, children, grands, great-grands, nieces, nephews, cousins, all under one roof, sharing one love. Some of y'all haven't seen each other in years. Some are meeting for the first time. There's laughter, there's hugging, there's stories being told that needed to be heard. And that's what makes this moment so special. It ain't about who said what or who brought what. It's about who showed up, who gave their heart, and who made today matter. Whether you were born into this family, married into it, or just claimed by it, you belong. You are seen, you are felt, and your place in this family is forever. Now, I didn't start calling names, and that was on purpose. I didn't want to miss anybody. This family's too big, too full of love for that. But if you're here today, you're part of the blessing, and I thank you. To the Dallas family team, thank you for bringing this all together. You didn't just plan a reunion, you created a memory. You honored a legacy, and I'm proud of you. So now, I done said what I came to say. There's still music, there's food, there's dancing, and there's family, my family. And before I forget, Harry, you come say what you gotta say. Then we gon' wrap this thing up right. I love each and every one of y'all, and I'm already looking forward to the next one. Kansas City, here we come. Now let's party.